When I reviewed the typical podcast and some of the ones that's on the um, podcast, I guess, list there, the Parkinson Foundation, and started watching some, uh, my disappointment was the focus was so much on research and maybe technical issues and being done on audio and not showing uh, people that are being interviewed. I think it lost a lot as well. What I'm attempting to do with my podcast is bring in interesting people and talk about backgrounds and, of course, relate it to finding your happy place. But I want to make it where people show empathy and not sympathy. I think what my research shows that one of the or two of the bigger issues, of course, is anxiety, which people with Parkinson's they have periods of anxiety, maybe 30, 40%, and also periods of depression, which can be up to 50%. And when you think about people with Parkinson's, you wonder about what their average age is when they die. And of course, I'm 80, and the average age is 81. Um, but the other thing that has been mentioned is how long do you live after you've been diagnosed? And some people say 16 years. And I was diagnosed in probably maybe 2016 or so. So that would probably put me into about 77, 78. Uh, Not that I'm concerned about that. It's all about how you spent your years, and I try to do that in some of the videos that I've done to show some of the things that I've done as far as the credibility that I might have as far as telling this story. But I think you're going to find in some of the interviews I've done that there are very, very interesting, and they hit on a lot of different subjects, and maybe subjects that's not been talked about previously. So I think that's something to consider. Uh, some of the things that I've already put together are more for background and credibility, but not so much the format that I'll be moving forward on. I do have plans to work with a lot of different things and people, and whether it's travel or whether it's just sitting down and talking with someone. Now that I'm located in Little Rock, I'm actually at a very prime location, Villas of Chenal, and it's very accessible, and I've got more accessibility to resources and 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 actually more resources to capital to help assist in this. I think the advertisers and other things will come along, and some of the things we'll be doing is putting together some ideas and some fun things. As I said, I want to try to use a Ted Lasso approach to keep the humor in it and more in a subtle humor, but also I want to bring in more of a Larry David sarcasm for things that's happening in government. As you get older, they say you're unplugged and maybe you're saying things that maybe you wouldn't have said earlier. I think that's okay. And it's easy to be gaslighted because of your age and maybe your health. But I think it's easy to, other things that you might benefit out of this is that people at an older age sometimes they're the guinea pig. And I'm talking about that in terms of some of the spinal cord stimulators. And I'm willing to look at what the latest and greatest are and try those when we can. I know in that market now that I'm seeing things with artificial intelligence in a closed loop that would be very helpful because sometimes it's very difficult to control with a remote where you are and levels that you need. And so it's something that's done more in a objective control situation is better than the subjective conditions of me trying to adjust that. And of course, the other things that come out of that is batteries are better and they're lasting longer, and there's a little bit of a hassle there of trying to charge these embedded, spinal cord stimulators. So that's just an area that I'm interested in. Obviously, I'll be doing trials within the neuropathy and also trials within neurology. So those are things that I'll be working on. Being here local, it'll be much easier to do. So I wanted to make you aware that some of the things I've done in the past, as far as my docu-series, are just lead-ins to get some ideas and put together some things, and we'll get the best of both worlds in this sense of docu-series and podcast, and we'll get that moving. But stay tuned and stay patient, and that's what it's hard to do. As I told my doctor, that when you get 80, you have a lot less patience on seeing how things are going to progress. But stay patient and stay tuned. I think you're going to find some very interesting and maybe some things that'll be a little bit of a curve at times, and other things that might just give you some inspiration to do uh, more things and get out and exercise and also just enjoy life and improve your quality of life. So that's really the direction we're going with this. That happens when you lower your anxiety and lower, your depression levels. So that's the objective of what we're doing here, and look forward to catching up with you later. Thanks.